What's up, everybody? TD Jim here with a product review. Today we're going to look at the Titan Fitness H-PND 2 from, of course, Titan Fitness. So the first thing I want to talk about is the size of the box before we get into this thing. I haven't seen any reviews on this particular unit. Well, maybe one. I think there's Garage Gym reviews, one. But I think that's it. And I think he was kind of talking about the differences between this unit and the Rogue unit. You can see the cardboard is it's not awful as far as the fluting and stuff goes. Obviously it's out of China, but it looks like they've listened and they're doing a little bit better job with their packaging. This thing came pretty well intact. I expected it to be all jacked up. I didn't know how big the box was going to be. It's not a huge box. It's 116 pounds ish, 125 pounds, I guess, somewhere around there. So with that, we'll crack this thing open. I'm going to kind of try to do this one-handed because I'm holding this camera at the same time, so it's going to be a little tricky. So we'll drop that down, pull that back, and I will be right back. Alright folks, got my sturdy box cutter. We'll have at these straps. We'll see what's inside this box. Some of the stuff you get from Titan is hit or miss, obviously, in what the packaging inside of the box looks like. So we'll see with this one. I got a Matador dip bar, and most of the box was fine. One corner was totally destroyed, and it just happened to be the corner, the end of the pipe of the dip bar. So I can touch that up, but it was the packaging inside it was a joke. There was some styrofoam thrown in between, and really a bag, and that was it. It was terrible. But so far here we got styrofoam on either side. We got some cardboard over the top. That's nice. So you get that out, you got the pad right away. You can see. It's wrapped in plastic. Looks pretty decent. I got a pan in here on this. It's got a nice roll to it. Some tissue and some plastic on that pad. So we'll set that aside. Now we've got the internal boxes, which everything here looks, this thing looks pretty well packed. It's not bad. You got these styrofoam blocks, which, you know, you need to get away from that at some point. Titan, I know it's a Chinese company, you don't care. Whatever, right? If you don't know that, it's straight out of China, obviously, at that price point. So we got some cardboard on the sides here holding in some pieces. This thing's really well packed. So if you're concerned about Titan and buying this unit and spending almost $500, spending $500 on it, I wouldn't be worried about the shipping of it. This thing is packed really well. Really well. So I'm gonna get the rest of these boxes out of here, start laying it out, and then I'll talk about the assembly process a little bit, and then hopefully the finished product, and we can give it a whirl and you guys can see what it's all about. Alright. Okay folks, TD back here again with this Titan Hyper. This is the point where I was going to show you some of the assembly on this item. However, I'm missing some pieces. I'm missing some parts. So this is what I got so far. One of these bearings came in and was cocked out. I had to press that back in place. You know, it was in the manufacturer box, so I don't blame Titan for that, obviously. You got some spring clips up there, handle clips, handles. I think it's plate holders. No, I don't know. Maybe it's just extra plate holders. The pendulum post came. side brackets. I want to say that's like 11 gauge. So this is thicker than my T3 rack. I want to say this is the same thickness as like the X3 rack probably. So they make an economy H-PND as well. And you know, maybe maybe I should have went with that for the $140 less or so. But I don't know. You get what you pay for to some degree too, right? And it is Titan. So the pad is pretty thick. You can see the stitching is decently done on it. It's pretty stiff. It did have some paper around it, some tissue paper, and for whatever reason it just stuck all the way around the whole pad. So I had to scrub it off. It took longer to get the paper off the pad than it did to unbox everything else. So that was like, they put it in the hot maybe, I don't know, and then wrapped it in a bag, but it looks good. The base frame, you can see some of the welds. We got some gapping. We got some just not nice looking welds. We got some like double track welds here. Looks like we came back over it, kind of stuff. But it's the stuff that you're kind of used to seeing from Titan. Some undercut. The one thing I don't see a lot of on their items, I don't see a lot of porosity, and necessarily, there's a little there, spatter, things like that. So I mean, that's pretty decent. But we'll see. So I'd like to get back on with this product review. I've sent Titan an email expressing my displeasure with only receiving one box, and it looks like I only got one box on the order posted. So we're just waiting to hear back from Titan. I let them know I was trying to do a YouTube product review since there isn't much on this product available, and we'll see if they get back to me. That's all part of the review experience though, right? Not everything always goes right, so this will be a good learning experience, I guess, and we'll see if Titan takes care of me. Hopefully they do, because this is one of the more expensive items I've purchased from them, over $500 shipped. So I'm a little bummed out. I'd like to get this together and give it a whirl. So through the magic of movie, the next time you see me, I will be back with hopefully another box of goodies. What's up, everybody? TD Jim here, back with the Titan Reverse Hyper video. So the last part of the video I talked about Titan only sent me one box for this Reverse Hyper. I kind of outlined what pieces I actually got. So I'm missing all the uprights, cross braces, side posts. I got the top, some brackets, and some of the fixtures and whatnot. So I was like, well, that can't be right. So got a hold of Titan. They didn't reply, but miraculously a second box showed up today. So I don't know if they had just hot-shotted it through FedEx or it was already coming, but on their website it only showed one box. So either way, I would say I've dealt with Titan customer service before, but it was through their eBay store, and they were really quick to respond. I bought some items off there that said they had cosmetic issues, and there were definitely some functional issues, and I might make a video about that at a later date. They did kick me back 16 bucks though. It wasn't that much cheaper on the eBay store than just buying them from the site, but I figured I'd save myself 20 bucks. But had I known that, I would have just bought them off the site. So anyway, maybe we'll do a video on that later date. But box number 2 showed up. Box number 2 is 143 pounds. So you got 143 pounds, 123 pounds. At 123 pounds, I was thinking, is that reasonable weight? And in my mind it was, but man, this thing is close to 300 pounds all in. So it's going to be pretty sturdy. We're going to find out. I'm going to open the box up and kind of show you what's in the box. Box 2, which is actually box 1. I know, whatever, right? and then I will start putting this bad boy together and then show you what the end product looks like and then my thoughts and kind of usage on it. So we'll be right back. Folks, let's open this bad boy up and see about the packaging in this container. You kind of saw what the packaging on the first container looked like, which is actually box 2. This is actually box 1. So I know, whatever, right? My FedEx guy's gotta hate my guts. I'm not lying. My trash man's gotta hate me too. All this cardboard that goes out is crazy. So again, I would say the packaging on the box, they're getting better. It doesn't feel like that really super cheap, crappy Chinese cardboard, but it doesn't feel like good cardboard either. We'll see. So as you can see, there's a lot of styrofoam in here. I hate that, you know, but they've kind of upgraded their instruction cards since this is a newer product. It's not just this crappy piece of paper. It's got a little, we'll see if that works. I've entered other ones and I have yet to have one work as far as the instructions go. They just don't log in. So we get rid of that. Big, huge styrofoam blocks. So you got one post right over against the cardboard. That's not ideal. I don't understand how they pack stuff to some degree. Lots of bags because, you know, it's going to go on a container from China. Already you can see, so on one of my posts, first one out of the bag, it's not knocked out. Tab's still in there. So I'm thinking a bolt needs to go through there. So I'm already going to have to fix that. So first piece out of the box. You guys are killing me. For almost, you know, for $500, you'd expect. Second one's good. It's heavy though. Like I said, I believe it's 11 gauge. Of the crossbeam piece. What I will probably do is I'll post this first video up and then I'll get into the assembly process and post another video because you guys don't want a 45-minute video about unpacking this thing and putting it together, right? So nuts and bolts, little worthless tools they send with them. Hardware packs look to be accounted for. Another brace up against the cardboard. Another brace up against the cardboard. It's 11 gauge, so it's probably fine. But I don't understand it. No sir, I don't. This one looks to be good shape. A little dinged up, but I'd say their powder coat's gotten better. From my T3 rack to this is a significantly better looking powder coat. But again, I don't know, price wise, it's more than I paid for my T3 rack. Now I have the 36-inch extension on my rack too, so the overall rack costs more, but just the rack, this Hyper costs more. And I'm starting to think about that, like, you bought a dedicated piece of equipment, you pay more than you paid for your rack. I don't know. The things we do to our back, our glutes, you know, our posterior chain, especially when you get old like me. So most of the framing was in box 1. So far I've only seen the one piece that is not a through-hole issue, which I should be able to resolve pretty easily. It's just, you know, a little bit of quality control on Titan's part where they're lacking, I would say. We will see how this thing goes together. I'm not going to bore you with that detail, because if you can follow an instruction, you can put together a piece of equipment. I will take note if I have to modify anything or do anything oddball in the assembly process of this. Okay. Now I'm covered in styrofoam. So we're going to clean up. I'm going to get this thing going, and then we'll be back. So I got this thing assembled, and I'll tell you what, it is a tank of a piece of equipment. Overall build quality, I would give this thing probably an 8 out of 10. And if I saw this at a commercial gym, I probably wouldn't bat an eye. This is certainly the highest quality Titan product that I have received. And I have bought a lot of Titan equipment. A log, a 6-post rack, benches, fat pads, you name it. I bought a lot of their stuff. This thing though, it's big. I cannot say enough how big this thing is, the footprint of it. The footprint of this thing is probably pretty close to a 36-inch rack. It takes up a lot of space. You got to be committed to this piece of equipment, right? So 11 gauge steel. It's thick. This thing's a beast. The pad, really nice and stiff, and it comes around at a nice angle here when you look at it. Got the little laser etched Titan logo. It's pretty cool. It's clean too. Powder coat on this versus the powder coat on my rack, it's night and day. It's not even close. This thing is far superior. You got the races on here for the rod to sit in. They're greasable certs. That's pretty high-end legit in my book. Lots of bolts. I think probably over-engineered from that standpoint. Brackets on the interior and exterior. Matching brackets holding the 3x3 uprights. It's gusseted. The top base bracket, which is super heavy. So if you're putting this thing together by yourself, you better make sure you're either good at engineering processes from an individual standpoint or get a friend, because it's heavy. This thing's heavy, it's no joke. I've done about 4 or 5 sets on it. What I will say is it's nice that you have these adjustable handles, so you can work that out. That's super helpful. The motion on the pendulum is super smooth. It's real nice. I'll say that the strap, I think, is a little on the long side. It'd be nice if it was adjustable. That'd be the one thing, an adjustable strap, and I'll probably look for an adjustable strap. You know, the little hangers are, they are what they are. They give you a little rubber bumper though to go up against the plate, which is nice. They didn't have to do that. The plate holders, you know, they're kind of thin, tin or aluminum, super cheap, but you don't need a lot of weight. I rocked out 4 or 5 sets with a 25-pound plate on there, And I'll tell you what, my back hasn't felt better in years. It feels like it's opened up quite a bit. So this thing's legit. If you have back problems, this might be a piece you want to consider investing in. You know, it's about $500 for this. Maybe they'll have some Black Friday deals. It takes up a considerable amount of space. Assembly wise, if you follow their instructions, which their instruction sheet did point to the actual instructions for this piece of equipment. If you follow the instructions, everything was laid out real nice. Everything was coded properly, with the exception of one set of bolts. But I was able to figure that out through the description of the bolt. So there was one error in their lit, but you know, I don't know if they're doing their lit and sending it over, or if they're or what. But when you get something out of China, the work instructions aren't always the best, right? So overall, I'd give that 8 out of 10. It was really easy to go together. They only used two, maybe 3 different size bolts, but for the most part, the majority of it used one size bolt and nut. It doesn't use lock washers. It uses lock nuts, which I think is probably a little more expensive for them, a little better solution. I prefer it over lock washers overall. The weld quality, like I said, on some parts of it there's a little undercut, but it's pretty good. You can tell that everything got welded in different spots in different places though, because everyone's got a little bit different style as far as that goes. But overall, I'm super happy with this piece of equipment. It sucks that it takes up so much space. I get when like Brandon Campbell did a review on the Hyper, the Rogue Hyper. He sold his because it just took up so much space and he couldn't commit to it. But I have what we call old man butt syndrome, where I've lost my ass and my glutes are real tight and super weak. So this is a commitment for me to try to build that up, help my squats, help my deadlifts, and we'll see how it goes. But overall, I'm super impressed with this piece of equipment. So for $500, I think it's a pretty good investment, and it's probably the highest quality piece of Titan equipment that I've purchased to date. So they're definitely stepping their game up. And their powder coat quality is excellent right now. Now, unfortunately, Rogue has moved on to Cerakote, and maybe Titan will follow suit. But you know, the price is going to follow suit too. So don't get too quality conscientious, Titan. Let's keep it around where you're at. All right.